We are following some breaking news. The FBI arresting a local man for his alleged involvement in the Capitol riots. San Diegans preparing this morning for another storm. The potential impacts especially high for those already impacted by wildfires this past year. And that UK variant of the coronavirus now leaving a deadly mark on San Diego as the county confirms more than 100 local cases, and the effort continues to get more vaccine sites up and running. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
And welcome to ABC 10 News at 11. I'm Jim Patton. Great to have you with us this midday, and I am joined remotely by my co-anchor Virginia Cha and 10 News meteorologist Megan Perry. Always great to see you both, and we'll be with you very shortly. We start with breaking news. The FBI announcing minutes ago the arrest of a Coronado resident for alleged involvement in the Capitol riots earlier this month. San Diego's FBI office saying that Jeffrey Alexander Smith was arrested yesterday morning. Smith is being charged with violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds and knowingly and unlawfully entering or remaining in a restricted building. San Diego office of the FBI says it's their first arrest in this region related to the riots. Smith is appearing in federal court this afternoon, and we'll have more details on later editions of ABC 10 News. Well, another round of storms heading our way. San Diegans hoping the rain doesn't cause too much damage. ABC 10 News reporter Nate Holmes says neighbors in East County are leaning on the side of caution after the Valley Fire left some areas vulnerable to potential landslides.
The Valley Fire burned thousands of acres here in East County. You can see the charred hillside right here behind me with no vegetation and heavy rains expected to make its way in. There is a concern about runoff, and neighbors tell us you can't be too prepared.
So there's a ravine right there, and the water usually flows through there. And then there's another ravine over there, and the water usually flows through there. I'm gonna go check a lot of the fiber rolls and some of the check dams just to make sure that they didn't degrade too much. Just, you got to check your stuff. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. So these are fiber rolls. I think these actually came from the county of San Diego. And what they do is they divert the flow of water to where we want them to go. So instead of just having them go over this way and erode all this, it directs it into one area right there. We've got several of them around the property. If you have a water flow that goes right through your property or right up to a structure, which I know a lot of people do, we're fortunate that we don't, definitely get in touch with the County of San Diego, get fiber rolls, get check dams, get sandbags. That stuff will make a massive difference.
If you still need to make preparations for your home or property, materials are still available. For a full list of locations, visit our 10 News website. In Hamul, Nate Holmes, ABC 10 News.
Well, now let's check in on the weather with meteorologist Megan Perry. Megan, how are we looking?
Well, it's dry right now. Still a good time to prepare for that storm that is headed our way, checking your tires, your windshield wipers, and clearing out your gutter. This is an atmospheric river event. We are tapping into subtropical moisture all the way from Hawaii with this one. So a flash flood watch is in effect tonight until tomorrow for the coast, inland, and mountain areas. We're expecting widespread totals of 1 to 2 inches with local amounts to 3 inches. That's a lot of rain in a short period of time. That's why flooding will be a concern. By 7 or 8 o'clock, there may be a slight chance for a few showers, but most of it will hold off until about 9 or 10 o'clock along our coast and then spread inland with the most widespread impacts coming through overnight tonight with periods of heavy rain continuing into tomorrow. You can see our 10 News Futurecast picking up on so much rain across the county, though not as much in the desert areas, not expecting any flooding there. And compared to where we will be or where we need to be, we're still going to be several inches shy of where we should be for the water year. I will show you that rain coming in using 10 News Futurecast in your full forecast.
Thank you, Megan. We're going to hear from reporter Jared Aarons in just a bit on how this weather could also impact the Farmers Insurance Open, which started today. In the meantime, you can get real-time weather updates for your area using our free 10 News smartphone app. So this is new today. We are now getting a clearer picture of the impact the so-called UK variant of the coronavirus is having on San Diego. It's described as being more easily transmissible than the original strain. And now San Diego is reporting the death of a 71-year-old man here is the first case suspected of involving the UK variant. He died on New Year's Day after a member of his household tested positive for that strain. You can remember San Diego was one of the first U.S. counties to detect the variant. Now, health officials say they have confirmed 109 cases of it here in San Diego and 44 other probable cases. Jim?
Now, Virginia, in an effort to get more San Diegans vaccinated, the county is opening another vaccination superstation, this time in North County. Comes as some say they've been having trouble getting appointments at the other sites. Newest superstation will be on the campus of Cal State San Marcos, and it will open on Sunday. It will be a walk-up site, but just like the other superstations, everyone must have an appointment to get vaccinated. This becomes the third superstation in the San Diego area, adding to the locations in the South Bay and downtown.
I keep seeing all these people going to Petco, and I think, I wish it were just a little bit closer. And so getting this one in San Marcos is like, it's an answer to prayer for us, really. Because so many more of us will be able to get over there and get our vaccinations.
And people can start making appointments for the North County site tomorrow. As the county works to create more vaccination clinics, local representatives are also working to secure more vaccines for our area. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell spoke with Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs about her efforts.
This week, Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs is touring vaccination clinics all over the county to get a better idea of what needs to be done to get more people vaccinated.
But it's clear that we in Congress need to do more to help the federal government get doses out as fast as possible.
Wednesday, she stopped by the vaccine superstation near Petco Park. While the county is working to open more sites, Congresswoman Jacobs says the government needs to stay on top of the delivery of vaccines so each county can plan ahead.
Part of the problem now is even when there are doses, they don't necessarily know there'll be enough the next week or the next month, and so they can't do that forward planning that allows them to book lots of appointments.
Today she visited Rady Children's Community Vaccination Clinic. Congresswoman Jacobs says part of her focus now will be to push for more COVID-19 relief funding to help pay for these operations.
We are working tirelessly in Congress to make sure we pass another COVID-19 relief bill. And the Biden administration has now secured enough doses to get everyone vaccinated. We still need them manufactured. We still need to get them to the states.
Jacobs says she is also pushing to get more funding for childcare and childcare providers. Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Well, one of San Diego's biggest school districts will begin welcoming some students back to campus next week. Poway Unified sticking with its plan to allow elementary and special education students to return to in-person learning. They'll be back on their AM/PM schedule. Extended school services and preschool resumed last week. The county needs to move into the state's red tier from the current purple tier before middle and high schools can reopen. Coming up, how NASA is honoring the brave men and women we lost in the Challenger disaster 35 years ago. And a local cheer squad that says the pandemic has changed their outlook on life and their perspective on what it means to be part of a team.
Well, right now, for most of you driving out there, you're not going to find many problems out there on the roadways. Things are still looking pretty good for the most part. The 5 right at the 94, you can see just very few cars out there. We do have reports of one crash southbound 5 right around Civic Center, so watch out for that if you're traveling through that area. And the 805 at the 163 is free and clear. I'm Officer Jim Betancourt with your 10 News. Time saver traffic.
We've never had a tragedy like this. And perhaps we've forgotten the courage it took for the crew of the shuttle. But they, the Challenger 7, were aware of the dangers, but overcame them and did their jobs brilliantly. We mourn 7 heroes.
President Ronald Reagan addressing the nation after Americans watched in horror as the Challenger exploded, killing everyone on that shuttle. A tragedy that became a defining moment for our space program. These are the 7 brave men and women who lost their lives 35 years ago today. Among them, Krista McAuliffe, who would have been the first teacher in space. Children all over the U.S. were watching as the explosion happened. Well, today, as part of their annual Day of Remembrance, NASA is paying tribute to those who've lost their lives in the pursuit of space exploration. Not only will they honor the Challenger crew, but all missions that ended in tragedy, including the crews of Apollo 1 and the Space Shuttle Columbia. The Challenger incident grounded the program for nearly 3 years. After that, NASA made hundreds of safety changes to later shuttles.
Well, while the pandemic has put a big damper on high school sports, it has also made a big change for the cheer teams that provide so much of the spirit for the games. But in this story that is positively San Diego, I met two very positive students who are all about school spirit and say inspiration is an attitude. In the days before COVID, the Torrey Pines High School cheer team was a spectacular display of energy, supporting their Falcons on field and court. But after the pandemic hit, well, there's still pretty much a ball of energy, like in this mask-wearing welcome back video played for students studying at home. But the big games and rallies that showcase their live shows, for now, are not in the picture. If you can't cheer, then what can you do?
Well, there's actually a lot of things we can do, especially just being a cheerleader. There's a lot of roles we play within the community, and the school is kind of a school ambassador.
Meet Stella Bruce and Nicole Demos, two senior members of the Torrey Pines cheer squad who say the pandemic has changed things. While they still practice just in case, it's socially distanced with masks in place. Also, the group stunts where they launch each other into high flips are on hold, but the team's community volunteering has shifted into high gear.
We have done holiday boxes, decorated grocery bags, the San Diego food drive, a toy drive, so a lot of different events to give back to our community. That's done so much for us as a team.
In fact, the girls say the pandemic has redefined their idea of team.
Before being virtual, I think I've thought about a team as more of a physical thing. You know, we're a team all standing here together. We're a team as we're doing this stunt or doing this dance together. But now that we are socially distanced, I think being a team is a lot more of a mindset that we all have.
Just kind of with overall our team personality, and that everyone kind of builds off of each other and kind of a cascade effect of positive attitudes.
Stella and Nicole say they both feel they have a lot to be positive about.
As seniors, we're kind of in this strange transitional period at the moment where we don't know exactly where we're going to be in a year, and that kind of mystery is also kind of exciting because we definitely have a lot to look forward to in the future.
A positivity that's infectious in a very good way, as a team all about inspiration sees a bright future and cheers us on to see the same.
Let's go Falcons!
Let's go.